Once upon a time, there was a vampire human/demon named Marceline. She was such a very little girl, and everything changed after she met Simon Petrikov. You see, Simon, he was those people who study in the stuff of like legends and stuff like that. And well, let's just say that he found this certain clown and he bought it from some weird guy, and he actually put it out and locked it up in a safe. But then one day he decided to bring it along with him and wanted to take a picture with his fiancée Betty. But when he put it on just for laughs, well, he started to go crazy, and he said, "Betty, my princess, where are you?" and something like that. And then, years later, after Betty left Simon, he met Marceline, who was crying. He was like crying over something. And then, made friends and all. They made friends with Simon, and then Simon left Marceline. And then, a few years later, Marceline decided to save all the humans from the vampires. And you see, there was a organization or hive or whatever of vampires, and there was 5 people who were like in charge. There was the Empress, the Hierophant, the Fool, the Moon, or Sister Moon as you people call them, and finally, the Vampire King. And then Marceline killed them all off. But in the process of doing so, she was bitten by the Vampire King. And then she lived for many years. And then one day, she met Finn and Zane, who were best of pals. And they all had very good adventures together. But then, one time, in the Wizard Tournament, Ice King, which was some new wizard that went crazy, went to the Wizard Tournament and joined it. And then, at some point, his crown's magical power was drained out of the crown. And then, by his entity known as Bella Nutsack. And then he turned back to Simon Petrikov. And then he called And then he called, her his old friend Marceline, and then told her everything. And then after saying sorry to Betty, Betty went through the portal. And then Betty saved Simon from death by destroying Bella Nutsack and making Simon turn back into Ice King. And then later she met Magic, and then later Betty met Magic Man, and then in the end she got Magic Man's powers, and then later on she stole Gunther, the penguin, and in order for Ice King to come to her after stealing his crown, and then once he found Gunther and Betty gave Simon his crown back, but little did she know that something wrong was about to happen. You see, the crown soon malfunctioned, then it was working again after Simon was reunited, and yeah. And then, years later, Marceline decided to, wanted to become a human again, because she burned in the sunlight. She didn't want that, because it was so frustrating for her. And then Peepee, also known as Bubblegum, or as the kingdom calls her, Princess Bubblegum, decided to take all of the vampire essence from Marceline. But by doing that, unaware of anything, the vampires that Marceline staked and gained the powers of them were reincarnated. And, well, you know, vampire hunt, blah blah blah. And then after defeating the Black Cloud, Marceline became a vampire again. Now, 10 years later, the vampire essence was taken from her again. And now the Vampire King, now as a lion, tries to protect Marceline and all. But now all the blood from her is gone. And the vampires that she staked and gained the powers of, they were reincarnated, and thus the story began.